Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to discuss a little bit about auditory hallucinations. Auditory hallucinations are incredibly difficult to discern between the actual noises of people or ambient noises. The thing is that auditory hallucinations can contain localization properties and they can have the voices of people. And if you're getting gang stalked, there are signs that you are going to be displaying that are going to tell gang stalkers that you are having auditory hallucinations, which is going to help them. It's going to tell them what you're going through, and they're going to exploit that current state of mind. First of all, when the reason that I can tell you all of this information about auditory hallucinations is because when I had the auditory hallucinations, I sat down and I explored them. I wanted to know more about them. And by that I mean that I sat down, I listened to them, I separated each and every one individual voice. I listened to the tone of voice. I listened to what they were saying. I was trying to just explore them. And I noticed, I found out that they were auditory hallucinations because there were things that they were doing that are not common when people are actually speaking. First of all, auditory hallucinations run in a loop. When you're having a thought, the thought pretty much bounces back and forth in your brain until there is another thought that has the same frequency, and it kind of takes over that synapse or that channel. Now, when you're having auditory hallucinations, first of all, pay attention if it's on a loop. Auditory hallucinations run on a loop. Second, they are going to have localization properties. By that, I mean that localization properties are where there is a place where it comes from. Now, first, what you have to do is that you have to pay attention, try to get as much information from the voice as possible. So try to get about what age is the person, ethnicity, accent, what emotion is it portraying, and go where you're at the localization that you're hearing the voice, or look. So look, and then look for someone who fits the image, who fits the description of the voice. And two things are going to happen: or the voice is going to stop, or it's going to continue going, and the voice isn't coming from anyone that you're looking at. So there were probably one. There could be where no one is there. There could be where absolutely no one fits the voice, or if the voice is just going to stop. If any of these three things happen, it means that it is an auditory hallucination. Additionally, auditory hallucinations typically have a narrative. Now, the narrative goes along what you're thinking. And the narrative can be manipulated by inserting a random thought. So, when I saw an actual gangstalker whispering something, and then the narrative of the voice that I was hearing completely changed to go tangent to the concept or the idea that the gangstalker said. So I experimented by whispering too. At this time, I was I felt like trash because gangstalkers were just putting things out that were pretty much insinuating that I was trash, that I was nothing, that I was the worst of the worst, and I was tired of it. So I played with the voices by saying, "Oh my God, everything is so hot, Daddy," and then the voice that I was hearing changed to say something along the lines of how hot I was. I know it's funny, but yeah. And then I began saying, "Oh, Daddy, pat my pussy," and then and then I began saying all these stupid things, and I was just laughing. Like, it was so much fun, but the voices changed the narrative. So gangstalkers, if they see that you don't look distressed anymore, that you're laughing, they will probably know that you changed the narrative of the voice, and they're gonna walk by you and they're gonna say something to change the narrative of the voice. I do not know what type of understanding they have. I don't know if they actually know how to manipulate the voices. I'm pretty sure they do. Some of them do, at least. But yeah, the voices can be manipulated. Let's see. Do I have anything else to say in regards to the voices? Oh yeah, last one. The voices. There can be times where if you feel that gangstalkers are watching everything that you do, it's probably because you are hearing voices that are reacting to what you're doing. So when you have, this is what this happens. When you're getting gangstalked, you build in your mind a new person. Your internal narrative, your internal you're not gonna notice, but you're gonna stop talking to the you that is in your head, and you are gonna start attributing what he says as the gangstalker. So you're gonna pretty much recreate the consciousness of the gangstalkers inside of your brain. So this voice that knows, that's why you feel that gangstalkers know everything about you, because this other you, it's the other hemisphere of your brain that they're literally training you to have this other part of you that is your internal monologue, the you that lives inside of your head, to take on the consciousness of the gangstalkers. That is what gangstalking does to you. So this other person that they have pretty much trained you to make the consciousness of the gangstalkers is you're gonna have an expectation of what they're gonna say. You're gonna have an expectation of a reaction because you feel that you gave them a personality. You gave them a because of all the experiences that you had, because of everything that the gangstalkers made you feel. You are gonna believe that this other internal voice that used to be you have been trained for it to represent the consciousness of the gangstalkers. So this being knows everything about you because it's you, but you just kind of stopped communicating with it. Notice that people who are gangstalked stop talking to themselves. That's why they go so crazy, because their internal monologue becomes the consciousness, their internal self becomes the consciousness of the gangstalkers. Now, the gangstalker consciousness that has been implanted in you via indirect manipulation has its own thoughts. You expect the gangstalker to say something. You expect the gangstalkers to believe something. You expect the gangstalkers to have an opinion of you because of what you do, what you said, what you feel that they know. Even what they don't know, you are going to give gangstalkers an opinion about that because you believe that they know everything about you. So if you feel that gangstalkers know everything about you, if like when I was at the homeless shelter, I would, blow one up in the shower. And so I would naturally, watch a little bit of porn, and I would hear the voice going, Like if they're watching whatever I'm doing, because I expected them to say that, to think that. How gross. So then that is what's gonna happen, is that you're gonna have this expectation of what gangstalkers are going to say. And if you're hearing voices and you're having auditory hallucinations, you are going to hear your inner voice is going to produce the expression, the reaction of the gangstalkers in you, of what you are, of what you believe that the gangstalkers will do or will say to whatever it is that you're doing. So like I felt like they could watch my phone. So every time I would put on my phone, I would hear because I was so convinced that someone was watching on their screen whatever I was looking on my phone. So I would hear the gangstalkers go, and that is because I expected them to say that. But it's not because they have a direct access to your phone, nor to your thoughts. It feels like they do, because you have brought the personality of the gangstalkers into your head unwillingly. So whenever you're by yourself and the voices are timed perfectly to what you're thinking, to what you're doing, and there's no one around you, but you still hear it, that means that you are having auditory hallucinations. That means that those voices you are producing in your mind. So it is not because they're watching you, it is because you believe that they're watching you. So your brain is creating the voice of what the gangstalkers would say or how they would react. So yeah, that is all I have to tell you about. Oh, and lastly, I'm so sorry. One more thing. You are going to hear, I'm not sure if this happened all the time. Well, I wasn't wearing earphones all the time. But if you're wearing earphones, well, if you're hearing voices and you're unsure, remember when the last time you were wearing your earphones and you had it as loud as possible. Remember how blocked off ambient noise was, and create a mental image, right? Like remember with as much detail as possible. Now, what you're gonna do is that you're gonna put your earphones and you're gonna put them at full blast. Now, is the ambient noise that you are hearing significantly louder than you remember it was last time you were wearing your earphones at the same volume? Auditory hallucinations, they are pretty much projected from your brain right onto your auditory nerve. So even though you have earbuds, you are going to hear the voices very clear. When you are wearing earbuds and you are not having auditory hallucinations, the sound doesn't go through. Very, very, very little. But if the sound is too clear, if it's too pervasive, even when you're wearing earphones, those are auditory hallucinations that you're having. Sit down, listen to what they're saying, even if you're wearing your earphones. Explore them. Find as many details about them as possible. Try to hear your own thoughts. Sometimes you're able to hear your own thoughts, your own internal monologue. If you can hear it, that means that if you hear like if it was a voice in your head, if you can hear your thoughts being projected, like they're projected to you, that means that you are hearing voices, that you are having auditory hallucinations. I didn't know any of this, but the last time I was having auditory hallucinations, all this information just like empowered me, and I was able to discern it immediately. I began playing with the voices, and I was having a blast with the voices. I was making them say all kinds of crazy shit. I was making them compliment me endlessly, and it was a blast. So if you're having auditory hallucinations, This is how you turn the tables. This is how you stop it from being a nightmare and making it fun, making it work for you. All right? Thank you so much for watching. If you're getting gang stalked, I'm sorry that you're going through that. And if you're hearing voices, I promise you this information is going to make your life so much better. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.